So, good afternoon, everyone. Super welcome. This is Wide Angle 3, and I'm Simone, your teacher, for those of you who don't know me yet. Oh, okay, I understand. So let's share our screen here, see if we can get hold of our Google Classroom page and check out what we're supposed to do. So let me share this with you. All right. Can you see our page on Google Classroom? Yes? Great. All right. Here we have Caio, David, Thais, and whoever comes, right? Super welcome, everybody, people. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm happy to see you. So let's start. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was really through a lot of trouble, but now I'm fine. So today, guys, we're doing Unit 2. We are continuing Unit 2, okay? And we are supposed to cover two parts of Unit 2, 2.2 and 2.3, okay? Before we start, I'd like to know if you have any questions about the homework. Let's see what you did last class, May 14th. Here we go. On Saturday, I think you only did the first page, right? About time and everything. So you didn't really talk about the second part, but you talked about, let me add it here. You did only the first page, right? And sorry, let me try to get you. Hello, Maria Clara. Good afternoon. So I think you did only up to here. This part, no. Okay. But you did the beginning. That was nice. Okay, I'm saving here. The homework from last week were those papers here on past simple and past continuous. This is what you saw last class. Do you have any questions about this homework? No? Is everything okay? Good. So let's go on. All right, let me take another picture and then share here. So if you have your books, open your books to page 19, where you have a text and you have a reading skill tip. Can you all see that? Yeah? Good. So people, today we are going to see how, yes, any question? No? Okay, let me see. Hey, good afternoon, Maria Clara. All right. So back to the book again. We are going to see how to find information in a text quickly, okay? Sometimes we have to do a test and then we don't have much time to think. We have to be fast. Yes. So the best way to answer the first questions are usually by doing this, by scanning the text, okay? So this is what they're saying here. Scanning means, oh wait, just a second. Scanning means quickly looking through a text to find the information you want, okay? You go straight to the point. This is useful when you want to find answers to specific questions rather than understand the whole text. You do not need to read every single word, bit by bit. No, it's not necessary, okay? Only look for the information you need to find. So let's practice a bit here. Here, they show us an article and they want us to scan the article like that, to look only superficially. What do I mean by that? You're going to see the article and just focus on the first sentence of each paragraph. Only that. Just read the first sentence from beginning to full stop or period. Okay, just from the beginning to the first period. The moment you get to that first period, it's enough. Then you go to the next. Okay? So what do you have to find out? First of all, what is déjà vu? 2, at what events do people usually experience déjà vu? Next one, what does déjà vu mean in English? And number 4, how long does it last? This is the information you have to find. Very specific. So take a quick look. For that, I will give you 1 minute, okay? So let me find you for that. Okay, 1 minute. Hi, good afternoon. No, the book, no. Oh, so you can follow here. Hi, Mateus. Good afternoon. Yes, can you do that for me? She will go get a book for you, okay? Just to use in the class. Thank you, Thais. Okay, time's up. So were you able to find some answers in 1 minute? Let's see, what did you find? Okay. So which answers did you find? Hi, Carol. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Great. Fantastic, David. Awesome. Hello, dear. Good to see you. So the first one, David just gave the answer. What is déjà vu? So it's that feeling, right? According to the text here, it's a feeling of that someplace or something is very familiar to you. Okay? But you know, deep down inside, that it can't be true. What does déjà vu, oh sorry, at what events do people usually experience déjà vu?
When they travel.
Yeah. When people travel, what happens? What else? So when we are in a situation that we are certain is new, and especially when our emotions are involved, it's there, okay? Now, what does déjà vu mean in English? Yeah, that's easy. You don't need to read the text. That's easy, right? It means already seen. How long does it last? Yes, only that. Oh, really? Oh, what a pity. Okay, thank you, Thais.
Do you want to take a picture?
Yes.
I think it's better. Thank you. So now the second part, they want us to read the article and decide if the statements here are true or false, or maybe not given. Now, the second time we read the text, we have to really pay attention. It's not scanning. Scanning was the first part, okay? The second part, we have to read. So we are going to read and try to answer whether these sentences here or statements are true, false, or not given. So for that one, I will give you 3 minutes, okay? So you take a look, read the text from beginning to end, and then try to answer, okay? So let me start timing you. Okay. Hey guys, time's up. 3 minutes are over. So yes, David, do you have a question?
I would say the answer to was on the end of the text.
Okay. All right. Very good. Here. At what events do people usually experience déjà vu, right? That question here. Yeah. Weddings, job interviews, funerals, when people travel. That's very good. So back to number 8. We were supposed to read the article and decide if the statements are true, false, or not given. So let's see the first one here. The first one, déjà vu, is when you have the same experience twice.
True.
No, that's false. That's false. It's not when you have the same experience twice. It's when you think, you believe you had that experience before, but not necessarily that experience exactly. Maybe something similar, okay? So, number 2, most people experience déjà vu only once. False.
Yeah. Teacher, I have a question, quick.
Uh-huh.
When I say that's true, when I say that's true, that's true.
No, that's true.
But there is another way to say that, like, that's true.
Yeah, no, let me show you the difference. Yes, you are mixing the adjective and the noun, okay? This is what's going on. So yes, I will disable here just to explain the difference between true and truth, okay? We have true, it's an adjective, okay? So example, that's true, okay? Now, we have the word truth. This is the noun, okay? This is not the adjective. Hey, where is my page? Oh my God, what happened? Okay. So here, truth is a noun, not an adjective. So here, example, that's the truth. Okay. I have to put an article here because truth is a noun, not an adjective. So you should always tell the truth. Another example, okay? You should always tell the truth. Okay? You should always tell the truth. Do you tell the truth all the time? Okay? Ah, okay. Okay? So here we are using the adjective true, the adjective false, and here not given according to the text. Okay? All right. So back to the question here. They say most people experience déjà vu only once. That's false. It happens more often than that. It happens many times, right? There are different explanations for déjà vu. Uh-oh, let me see it. Sorry. Yes, I clicked wrong. Okay, number 4. There are different types of déjà vu.
True.
Not given. It's not, my goodness, all the time it goes back alone. It's not given. Here, they don't say, the different kinds of déjà vu that we have. Okay, they don't really explain that. They say the different situations, but not the different kinds of déjà vu. You're going to see in a while. We remember emotional events more easily. Not given. Oh my God. It's true. Yes, of course. This one here is totally true. But let's see if they say this in the text. Look. Look, they say, when we are in a situation that we are certain is new, and especially when our emotions are involved, these false memories can come to the surface, to the top,
Oh,
okay? So here, they are not really saying that emotional or emotions, situations that involve emotions, they are easily remembered. This is not what they say. That's why it's not given. They are not saying, okay, you can remember the things that happened to you when emotions are involved. No, they're talking about déjà vu here. And déjà vu is usually something that never happened, but comes to your mind. You have the impression of having lived that situation before. Okay? So that's something different. To understand better this situation of déjà vu, guys, I will show you this short video here. Actually, it's a long video, but I will just show a small part so you understand better the meaning of déjà vu, okay? I will try to show you this video in just a moment. Let me try to, okay. Can you see that, people? Yes? Can you see the video screen? Good. So, I think the audio is okay. Yes. So, ever had a déjà vu? This is why. This is a long video, but I will just show 4 minutes of this video, which will explain the necessary things you need to know to understand the idea of déjà vu, okay? So let's do this. Let me mute so you don't.
Hey, 42 here. The film Groundhog Day, released back in 1998, is set in the town of Woodstock. No, not that one. And tells the story of Bill Murray's character, Phil Connors, who repeatedly relives February the 2nd. Hey, 42 here. The film Groundhog Day, released back in 1998, is set in the town of Woodstock. No, not that one. And tells the story of Bill Murray's character, Phil Connors, who repeatedly relives February the 2nd. Wait, did I do that bit already? Chances are that, like me and good old Bill Murray, you've had that strange feeling where you feel like you've already experienced a situation before, even though you know you haven't. That sensation, of course, is déjà vu. And between 60 and 80% of us will experience it at some point in our lives. But what exactly is déjà vu? And what causes it? Well, according to Professor of Psychological Science, James Lampinen, déjà vu is a strong sense of global familiarity that occurs in a seemingly novel situation. It's that little nagging voice in your head saying, "I've been here before," when you know that's not quite the case, unless you're eating cheese straight out of the fridge at 2 a.m. We both know it's not your first time. The phenomenon was first named by a French parapsychologist, Émile Bourac, in 1876. The name itself is fairly self-explanatory. Déjà vu means already seen in French. But why was it a parapsychologist, someone who studies psychic phenomena, who was so interested in it? Well, at the time, déjà vu was considered so strange, it was thought to be something supernatural, much like clairvoyance or mediumship. For many years, it was considered an area unworthy of study, most often explained away as a side effect of reincarnation or possibly even alien abduction. Never been in this room before that somehow feels so familiar? Well then, you must have been here in a past life, obviously. Either that or aliens vigorously probed you on this very spot before wiping your brain. The name déjà vu itself has become a catch-all term for unexpected familiarity, but there are actually several different varieties of the phenomenon to remember. Déjà entendu is the sense you've already heard something that is in fact new to you. Not to be confused with Déjà Nintendo, which is when you suddenly remember you've been playing Pokemon for 6 days straight and need to get a life. There's also déjà pensé, the feeling you've had a particular thought before, when in reality you haven't. Déjà goûté relates to food. And déjà voulu, weirdly enough, is the sense you've desired something or someone before when you haven't. It's important to note that déjà vu is completely different to precognition, which is where people have the feeling they know what's about to happen. That's not déjà vu as much as it is claiming to be a psychic and mental. To be on the safe side, psychologists have actually tested this out. Back in the 1950s, when scientists had free rein to attach whatever they felt like to people's brains, direct stimulation of the frontal cortex, which induced déjà vu, was found to also produce the feeling of premonition, but without granting any actual power to predict things or see the future in any way. And more recent, less brain-proby experiments have found exactly the same thing. These days, we separate déjà vu into two distinct types. The first, what we'd consider regular déjà vu, is seemingly random, and the second is associated with neurological conditions, like temporal lobe epilepsy. This latter form is usually accompanied by other symptoms, and is termed pathological déjà vu. It's caused by disease or injury of some kind, particularly damage to or malfunction of the frontal lobe, the part of the brain that handles memory. Pathological déjà vu is easier to study since it occurs far more frequently in the individuals it affects, and researchers have been able to identify the areas of the brain where the feeling originates. But pathological déjà vu is generally considered to be a little different from your normal everyday déjà vu. For instance, those suffering from this condition may actually think they've been in a given situation before for sustained periods of time, rather than merely experiencing a fleeting feeling. A British man, Pat Long, suffered from one of the worst cases of déjà vu on record. In his mid-30s, Pat was diagnosed with a brain tumour the size of a lemon, after suffering epileptic seizures. To most of us, déjà vu is nothing more than a strange moment, a kind of, that's weird, that lasts no more than a second or two. Pat's déjà vu was something else entirely. In fact, it wasn't really déjà vu at all, but déjà vécu, meaning already lived. We're building up quite the nice little list of French vocab here, aren't we? Anyway, as the name suggests, Pat's déjà vécu meant he would believe he'd lived whole sequences of events before. The feeling was so strong and would last so long that for weeks on end, he would be almost entirely unable to differentiate between past experiences and the present, with memories, hallucinations, and the products of his own imagination all interchangeable to him. Epilepsy sufferers often experience bouts of déjà vu during seizures, as well as the experience described as the opposite of déjà vu, jamais vu, meaning never seen. Jamais vu is when a situation that should be familiar instead feels foreign for some reason, as if you're experiencing it for the first time. Whilst not quite so famous as its cousin déjà vu, jamais vu is easier to induce. Repeat any word aloud enough times in a short space of time, and it will slowly start to lose its meaning. Inducing déjà vu is far more difficult, which means studying the sensation can be tricky. That's part of the reason we still don't know exactly how it works or what causes it. For most of us, it's not a daily occurrence, so getting data on a significant scale in a lab setting is difficult. Difficult, but not impossible. As part of a 2006 study, scientists at Leeds Memory Group used hypnosis in an attempt to induce déjà vu. They theorized the sensation was caused by a kind of malfunction in memory processing. When the human brain is presented with a new scene, it carries out an internal check to see whether elements of the scene have been observed before. If they have, a different part of the brain identifies the scene as familiar. The researchers hypothesized that déjà vu occurs when the second part of this process is triggered without the first, and they were able to successfully use hypnosis to artificially trigger the malfunction simply by telling hypnotized patients that the next time they saw a particular word, they would know it was familiar but not know where they'd last seen it. Does that explain the mystery then? Well, not necessarily, because other researchers attempting to recreate déjà vu have come to their own, sometimes very different conclusions. According to a 2014 study conducted at the University of St Andrews in Scotland, déjà vu may actually be a healthy and important neurological failsafe that performs a conflict resolution function to prevent false memories from forming. As part of the experiment, researchers used word association techniques to convince participants they'd been shown certain words they hadn't, effectively forming false memories. When later quizzed on these memories, around 2/3 of participants reported experiencing déjà vu. Interestingly, MRI scans of their brains showed activity not in the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, but in the frontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making. The researchers theorized that déjà vu was experienced as the brain attempted to resolve the conflict between what the participants had actually seen and what they thought they'd seen. As interesting as these ingenious lab-based explorations of déjà vu are, it's also possible there's a much simpler explanation to all of this, that déjà vu is simply triggered by a forgotten memory. After all, it's well established that less important and infrequently accessed memories are eventually forgotten, or at least heavily suppressed. Déjà vu may just be the feeling we get when something we're experiencing is similar to one of these discarded memories that's gone but not quite forgotten. Frequent travelers are also thought to experience déjà vu more regularly than others, which perhaps supports this theory. The more places you've been and the more different things you've seen and done, the more likely it is that a seemingly new experience might feel familiar to you, because it's similar to something you no longer quite remember, consciously at least. We can't talk about déjà vu without giving a quick shout out to Sigmund Freud, who believed the phenomenon was caused by repressed desires or old traumatic memories. Because, well, that guy linked everything to repressed desires and trauma. He also had a suspicion that regular sufferers of déjà vu were most likely fixated with their mother's genitals. But let's face it, Freud wasn't happy until he'd gotten at least one set of genitals into each of his theories. So we can probably take that with a pinch of salt. Saying that, there was some method to his genital-based madness on this occasion. Freud reasoned that your mother's secret garden is the only place in the world every single one of us has been just once before, I would hope. Whether or not people born by caesarean section experience déjà vu is, so far as I'm aware, unknown. There's a thesis subject for you budding psychologists out there. Make sure you give me a mention in the acknowledgements. Another older explanation, albeit one that remains a valid.
So interesting and crazy. Guys, that was very interesting, wasn't it? Because he gives all the aspects of déjà vu, the reasons for. Hi, Nancy. Good afternoon. So he gives all the explanations for déjà vu, the reasons, what people believe, okay? So we can have, if you want, you can watch the whole video later I can post the video there for you on Google Classroom. But back to our page here on the book, we have this text with a summary of déjà vu. Very simple, okay? But according to what we saw in the video, why do people usually have that feeling? Why does déjà vu happen according to the video and according to the text? When there is a loss of connection, okay. What else? Yes, go ahead.
When the left and the right side of the brain lose connection.
Yes, this is what they say, yeah. Because did you see the mechanism? When we go to a new place, somewhere we've never been to before, we usually associate the images, the places to something that we already know. And then if we remember mostly everything, then it's, oh, it's familiar. I know this place. Oh, I know, because your brain is all the time making associations, all the time linking. So that's something that we do naturally. But sometimes, without having been there, we can have this feeling, a place that is totally new, and you go like, I know this place. I've been here before. We do like this, right? Because sometimes we have this, I think, in my opinion, I think the association is very fast. And so when these things happen, it's because we don't have time to understand that it's really first time, you know? We have the idea that I know this place, I've been here. I had this feeling when I went to a very nice tea house downtown Rio called Colombo, I think. I don't remember the name now. I think it's Colombo. It's in a very nice place of the city center in Rio, and it's a famous tea house. They make delicious bread, delicious toast. Everything there is very good. But the decoration of the place is super old. It's like from the last century, maybe 19th century, not even 20th century. It's very old, but it's beautiful. I don't know if you know. Let me show you the picture, then you understand what I mean. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I remember. I will try to put in Portuguese here. So yes, this is it. Yeah, the one I went to was here. Let me try to find the picture. Let me see if they show the images. It's a very nice place. They have, let me show you guys. They have that tea house here, downtown Rio, Copacabana, and some other place, I guess. They have many addresses. Wow.
It's like a hotel.
Yeah, it looks like yeah. The decoration is really amazing. Let me try to find the site here so I can show you the picture of the place and then you understand what happened. It's so beautiful inside. Look, You see, guys, it's old, okay? And the moment you start, check it out, people. It's amazing. Look at the decoration of the place. Yeah, it is amazing. Look inside. Wow, there are so many things here. Wow. I think it's jinxed because it's opening everything at the same time and it's not the way I want it. So let me try to go back here. Oh my God. Yeah, the computer is crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's going on here? I don't want the map, for God's sake. Let me go here. Okay. Back to the beginning. Yeah, look. It goes automatically. I'm not doing anything. So it's so beautiful. So I have no time to click. You know what I mean. Okay, guys. So here there is a gallery with pictures. Check out the dishes and everything. It's so incredible. It never stops. It never stops. It's not me. I'm not doing it. This is so crazy. Anyway, people, Déjà Vu, I'm showing you that because when I went to this tea house for the first time, I went there for the first time, I felt that I have been there before. I was like, I know this place. I've been here before. I was with my mother and I started crying at this, yeah, the moment I entered, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I cried and I said, I know this place. I've been here before. I know this place. The feeling was so strong that, yeah. My mother looked at me and she said, are you okay? Hello, Paulina. Good afternoon. Good to see you. So that's the feeling, people. All right. So if you want to learn more about it, you can search. And there is also the video I will post for you. And I guess the English is easy to understand. Okay. All right, people. So the last one, have we seen the last one? Let's check the answers here. Yes. For number 8, everything okay? And now for number 9, how many explanations for déjà vu are there in the article? And which one do you believe? So let's see if we can find it without checking the answers first. How many explanations do you think they show us? 3? And which one do you believe? I don't know. I believe that somehow you had that experience. I don't know when, but I have this impression. Yeah, maybe it was a dream. Maybe when you were a child or a baby, I don't know. In another life. Yeah, why not? Okay. So I believe in that. Now let's check out the answer to number 9. Hello, Juan Bessa. Good to see you. So look, 3 explanations are given. All right. Yeah. Yes. So number 1, we are remembering a similar event that happened in the past. The second one, the 2 sides of the brain lose connection for a moment. This is like a scientific explanation. And the third one, people can have false memories. It can also happen, okay? Here there's an example. I like the explanation about the two sides of the brain being out of step. It makes the most sense to me. Yeah, I think number one is more like the reality. And maybe number three, yes, I guess a mix of all of them. It could be any of those, okay? All right. So moving on, we are done with this page. Okay, guys. And look at this beautiful picture. What place is this? Yes, this is South Africa, Cape Town. What a beautiful picture, isn't it? So it shows here that most of the times when we travel, we have déjà vu, especially when we travel, because the more we travel, the more we get to know places, the more we find places familiar, because we have the idea that, oh, I know this place, I've been here. Okay, so it happens more often when we travel, when you go places. Okay. All right. Especially when we have a strong connection with the place. Okay. All right, people. Now the next page will talk to us still about time, because we are talking about time. Look at this beautiful picture. This is so nice, isn't it? So have you ever played volley on the beach? It's so nice, isn't it? You've never, oh, you should try. It's so good. I have. Have you ever played volleyball on the beach? It's so good. And you, Paulinha, never. Oh. So this is nice, especially during the sunset here in the afternoon. Oh, it's so good, people. You should try. Yeah, that's true. But no, this is in Rio. Yeah, I think so. No? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Rio. They should say here, but they don't. They usually say where the picture was taken. And here they don't say. So, yeah. Looks like Rio to me. Yeah. So, what is the focus of this part of the lesson? They want us to know some phrases that we use with the word time. Because when we talk about déjà vu, we are talking about time. We are talking about present and past, when the past comes quickly to our present, right? And then we sometimes have those memories or false memories, okay? So we are talking about time, okay? Let's take a look here. We can't use the noun time with different parts of speech, okay, guys? What are parts of speech? Let me explain.
Speech is discourse.
Yes. So parts of speech, the whole thing together here, means the function of a word, okay, in a sentence. This is what a part of speech is all about. So when I say, oh, this word is an adjective, that is a part of speech. Oh no, it's a verb. Another part of speech. Adverb, preposition. So these denominations, these definitions, the function of the words in a sentence, we call that part of speech. Okay? So if you want to know a word, for example, we have a word and you don't know that word, you can ask, oh, teacher, what's the part of speech of this word? I will say, oh, it's a verb, okay? Or it's an adjective. Okay, guys, so to know the part of speech is to understand the function of that word in a sentence, in a specific sentence. Okay, some words can have different parts of speech. They can be a verb, they can be a noun. We'll see that. So this is what we're talking about here, but specifically with the word time. So we can use the noun time with different parts of speech. Example, we can have an adjective plus the word time. Example, the first time, the last time, next time. We are using the word time. A short time ago, a long time ago, this time, that time, okay? So different parts of speech together with the word time. Time is a noun, okay? We can use a preposition with the word time. Example, overtime, through time, in time, on time. We can also use a verb. Yes.
What means full time?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
What means full time?
Okay, let me see if I understand. You want to know overtime or through time?
Full time.
Through time. So through time is when you were talking about, for example, history. When we study history, we understand things through time because we can study, for example, the beginning of the creation. Then we can study the first colonizations that existed during a period. So when you learn things, for example, history, we understand humankind or humanity through time because we start from the past and we come until today. Okay? That's the idea.
And overtime.
Overtime. Yes, it's a different idea because when I say you're doing this over time, it's like again and again and again and again. Okay? So it's a different idea. Let's see in time and on time. You're welcome. In time is when you do something and you still have time to start what you were supposed to start. For example, let's take our class. Our class starts at 1:30, okay? So if you arrive at, let's say, 1 o'clock, you arrive in time for class. You arrive before, you are ahead, you are early, but you arrive in time for class. Now, our class finishes at 4. Suppose you had an appointment of some kind and you arrive at 3:55. You arrive at 3:55 here. So do you arrive in time for class? No, you missed. You missed the entire class, so you didn't arrive in time. If you arrive at 1:45, 2 o'clock, you arrive in time because class is still beginning. There is time for you to attend. If you arrive at 2:15, okay, you arrive in time for the class. But if you arrive after 3 o'clock, like 3:45, 3:50, you don't arrive in time, okay? Now, on time is different. On time is when you arrive at 1:30 or a little before. You arrive before class starts. Then you arrive on time. Like, yes, no, not necessarily how long before you arrive. You are on time. If you arrive here at 1 o'clock, you are on time. Okay? If you arrive here at 1:25, you are on time. At 1:30, you are on time. But if you arrive at 1:45, you are not on time. Okay, you are late. All right? So that's the difference between in time and on time. Different ideas, okay? Which one? In time is when you arrive with time enough to attend your class. Example, if you arrive here at 1 o'clock, your class begins at 1:30. You arrive at 1 o'clock, you arrive in time for class. If you arrive at 1:45, okay, you arrive in time for class because your class is beginning. If you arrive at 2 o'clock, yes, it's okay because you arrive in time. You are able, you still have time because you are able to attend your class. Now, if you arrive here at 3:55, 5 minutes to finish, you don't arrive in time. You missed. Okay?
On time, right before.
Yes, on time is when you arrive at the time of the class or before. Okay? If you arrive at 1:25, you are on time. If you arrive at 1 o'clock, you are on time. If you arrive at 1:30, you are on time. Now, if you arrive at 1:35, you're not on time anymore. You're late. 5 minutes late, but late. Okay? You're welcome. So, we can also use the word time with a verb, okay? Like, for example, have time, spend time, waste time, make time, run out of time. So have time we use all the time, right? We have time to study. We don't have time to study. We are too busy all the time, right? Spend time. We spend time with our friends or with our family on the weekend. This is time that we spend voluntarily. We want to spend time doing something. So some people spend time studying. Some people spend time watching TV. Now, waste time. This has a negative connotation because when I say waste time, I'm saying that I'm not doing anything valuable. I'm doing something that is useless and is not going to help me in any way. So I'm wasting my time, okay? So it has a negative connotation. All right, Annalise? Yes? Spend time, waste time, make time. Who knows the meaning of that?
In time is when you're a busy person,
Uh-huh.
but back to have time. You make time for do something.
To do something important.
Yeah. But you are busy.
Okay, yes, it's an example, right? When you need to make time to do things. We also have run out of time when you don't have time enough to do something. The time is over, so you run out of time, okay? Oh, too bad. We have no time to do this or that. We ran out of time. We can say that, okay? Using the verb in the past. All right? Yes?
I don't understand waste time. Can you repeat?
Which one?
Waste time.
Oh, waste time. Okay. So waste time is when you don't do something that is considered valuable to you or that is going to help you in any way. For example, suppose you have a test tomorrow, okay? And you, when you arrive home or when you finish class now, you decide to watch TV. So you spend all afternoon watching Calderola. So, are you studying or are you wasting time? Because your test is tomorrow, right? And instead of studying, you decide to watch TV Saturday afternoon. So, what are you doing? You're wasting
I
time.
am studying.
Yes? Do you understand? You're wasting time because you have something important to do and you are doing something you shouldn't. Now, when you have time, when you have free time, then you relax. You do whatever you want. You're not wasting time. You are yes, you're chilling. You're taking it easy, and everything is okay. All right, people. But when you have something important to do, then you have to prioritize. Okay. All right. Now, based on this here, they tell us to go back to the article and find all the examples of phrases with time. And then after that, we should say what parts of speech are they used with. Okay, so let's go back to the text here. I will try to zoom in. Yeah, this is the max. So let's take a look here and find the expressions with the word time. I think here I highlighted one already. Yes. You see that? First time. Okay. Let's see if we have any other. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, here they are. Yeah. Yeah, I guess these are the only ones we found. All right, apparently these are the only ones we have here. First time, short time, overtime, each time. Okay, so back here. What parts of speech are they used with? So the first one, when you say first time, adjective. Yes, good. Like here, look, okay? First time. All right, let me highlight this for you so you know what we are talking about. Okay, so adjective. Adjective is only the word first, okay, people? Not the word time. So let me erase here so you don't mix it up here because time is not an adjective. We're just talking about the words that go with time, like first, next, last, okay? Okay, the other one, let's see. here. Short time. Adjective again. Over time. Uh-oh. Preposition. Yeah, preposition. Each time.
The adjective.
Adjective. Okay. All right, people. Very good. Okay. So we had one example with preposition here. Let me just mark for you. Okay. Over. Okay, guys. And we had each time, which is not here, but we can consider that an adjective. Okay, guys. Having done this, let's see if our answers are correct. Let's see if it opens. Yes, look. Adjective, the second one. Adjective 2, short time. Over time, preposition. Each time, adjective. Okay? So we call these things here parts of speech. Okay? Great. All right, people, now read the sentences and decide which part of speech is missing. If it's an adjective, a preposition, or a verb. Let's see the first one. Some people are always late. They find it very hard to be on time. It's a preposition that is missing. So instead of using on time here, they want to put the part of speech. But of course, you can put on time and beside here, you write preposition, okay? I think it's better. So try to do the others. I think there are some more. Yes, from number 2 to number 8. Okay. So for that one, I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay. All right, Annalise, do you understand? You should use one of these words here, okay? Last, short, next, okay? Or prepositions, or even a verb, okay? So let me highlight here. Now I guess it's easier for you to visualize, okay? Now you have adjectives, prepositions, and verbs. Okay, did you manage to do all of them? Yes? Great. Very good. That is. Okay. Yeah? Are you managing to do it? It's great. Keep doing, keep doing. You're still doing number one. Oh my God. Gosh, number two, guys, come on. Let's see, here it says preposition, but we know the preposition we should put here is on time, okay? So let me just close here. Let me show you here. Number one, it would be, the best word would be on time. And of course, it's a preposition, okay? All right, what about number two? The first time I went skiing, I broke my leg. I'm not going again. Can be the first time, the last. It's also possible. The last time I went skiing, I broke my leg. I'm not going again. So here it can be first or last. And in both cases, what is the part of speech? Adjective, okay. Okay. So this is what we are going to put here, okay? But we know the possibilities. Now, let's see here. I'm going to bring the note here so we can take notes. Okay. Number three. Time doing things you enjoy will make time pass more quickly.
That's
Yeah. Spending. It's a verb. Okay.
I put that time.
That time. Yes, like this.
That time to enjoy. I think it's possible.
That time doing things you enjoy. Because when you say that time, you are specifying the time. That time. Which one? That time when you said this or that, okay? So here it's better, but I understand your idea. It's better to say a verb here, to use a verb. So instead of using an adjective, we should use a verb. So here in number three, we could put, for example, spending. And it's the first word, so capital letter. And then we use a gerund, okay? Yeah. Spending time, okay? Doing things you enjoy. Number four, my brother
wrong.
wastes time playing video games instead of studying. So he failed his exams. Okay. So here a verb. Okay. We can put here in this case. Yes. Wastes. Okay, so verb. Here we can use in the past as well. He wasted time, so he failed. It's also good. Okay. It took scientists
Long.
yes, a long time to discover DNA. What is that? Adjective. Okay. So here. A long time. Then we put here Okay. Now, number 6. Things such as the cost of living and property prices increase
Over time. Preposition.
over time. Very good. Preposition. Okay. Increase over time because it's something continuous. It's something that always happens. So that's why the best option here is over time. Okay. Oops, sorry. Time, no. Preposition, sorry. Now, happy people, time to exercise, eat healthily, and do fun things like see friends. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, the computer here is a little crazy. So what should we put here, guys? A verb? Yes, a verb. And the best one? Make. We make time, we create time to do the things we need. Wow. This computer is so crazy. All right. Okay, guys, the last one.
Last time I go on vacation.
Adjective, yes. The time I go on vacation. I'm going somewhere hot. I'm going. It's an idea of future. So the next is the best option. Because you're using the verb. Oh my God. You're using the verb in present continuous or going to. So this is future. Okay. There you go. All right, people. Okay. All right. So it's nice for you to notice the parts of speech that we use in each situation. So let's check the answers. Everything correct. Okay. The parts of speech are correct. So now here, this is what we did in number 12. We have already done the next one. Okay. So let's see number 12 and let's check our choices to see if they are correct. Here they say, complete the sentences in exercise 11 with the correct words. Check that you used the correct form of the verbs. So let's check our answers here. We have on first, spanning, waists long. Let's see if we can have both of them on the screen. I don't know if we can. No, we can't. So there you go. Yes, look. Everything correct. Here in number 4, they used in the past. It's okay, right? It's okay. The verb waste in the past. All right, people. No problem. Okie dokie. All right, can we close? So it exactly matches our choices. Okay, only here, instead of using wastes, which is also okay, they put wasted in the past. That's okay. No problem. So have you or any of your classmates ever experienced déjà vu? Yes, good. It happens, right? Do you remember when it happened, where you were?
I was in the bus. And then I felt that been there.
Uh-huh.
Of course I have.
Yes, sure.
That's it.
That was the sensation. Okay. What about you, David? Uh-huh. All right. Hi, Mona Lisa, Paulinha. Never?
Parece que eu tô confundindo as coisas, porque eu tava bem confundindo.
I know. That's okay. Don't worry. I believe you. Okay. Mateus,
Well, it already happened so many times where
you don't remember. Okay.
chair forgot. You,
Yeah, I had this. Yes. Yes.
I know this.
Yeah, I told you already. Sorry. Ancient. Ancient means very old. Very old. No, very old. Okay, put in English. Like, for example, the pyramids in Egypt are ancient because they are very old. Okay? All right, you got it?
Okay.
Okie dokie, guys. So we are done with this page here, right? And they they give this beautiful picture here so we can have a deja vu. Looking at this picture, go, oh, I know this place. Yes, wow. Is it really like this? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I know it's in Rio, but I don't know where exactly. All right, people. So let's go to another part of Unit 2 that also talks a lot about time. And it's super special because this part talks about archaeological discoveries. This is so nice. How many archaeological discoveries do you know? How many can you remember? Uh-huh.
Tem um no centro do Rio. Esqueci o nome agora. Mas era um professor que passava assim.
Uh-huh.
Eu esqueci o nome desse.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either, but yeah.
Nossa,
Yes, Stonehenge in England, right? That temple. All the pyramids in Egypt and all the other things they've been finding there until today. Okay? They find a lot of things over time. So, guys, uncovering the past. If you. Oh, okay, Julio, I got it. So, let's see what discoveries they would like us to talk about. Here we have write the names of each discovery under the correct photograph. So that's simple. Look at the first picture, guys. What's the name of this archaeological discovery?
something orange.
Yes, a terracotta. Terracotta warriors. Yes. It's amazing, guys, how many sculptures they made thousands of years ago. Look, the terracotta warriors. All right, there you go. Okay. What's the name of the second discovery?
Pines.
Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
Pedras.
Yeah, in England. Yes, in Stratford upon Avon. Stonehenge. The next one. What do we call this discovery here?
Golden Pig.
No, the Nazca lines. Look, beautiful drawing. Looks like a bird, doesn't it? Yeah, and it's really big. The last one. Whoa.
Golden Pig.
Yes. Go back, tap. Yes, go back, tap. This is also another interesting archaeological discovery. So now we should try to match the discoveries to the countries where they are. Let's see if you know. Where in the world are these discoveries? Match each country with a discovery from exercise number 1.
England.
England,
It's stone.
Stonehenge. Okay.
China warriors.
Yes, the terracotta warriors. Yeah. Peru, the Nazca lines. Yes. And Turkey.
Yes.
Go back, Lita. Very good. The last one.
Teacher, I thought Turkey was Europe.
No, it's not. No.
Oh,
Yes. Turkey. So make notes on anything you know about these discoveries. So let's see, guys. I know you didn't really have time to search anything about these discoveries, but I have a video here that will talk about each one of those. Let me see if I can find it. It's very interesting, especially the terracotta warriors. Guys, there are a lot of sculptures that were found in China next to a tomb, so they could protect the dead people that were buried there. So it's really amazing. Let me show you just a second. Let me just check here. I thought I had saved it here, but no, I didn't. Shame on me. I know I saved. So let me go to the beginning. And if I just put here the discoveries, I will find it. Just a moment, guys. So I will get the video that I separated for you. This is very interesting. There are so many discoveries they make. Oh, I think this one scientists can't explain. This is by Mojo. Yeah, this is interesting. Yes, because in this video here, they will talk about the 10 most famous or the greatest archaeological discoveries. So we can watch this one, but I'm not going to show everything. Just the beginning, only if it's too interesting. Okay? Let me take a look. Sorry, guys, about the noise. Whoa, it's almost time for our break. So why don't we do the following? Why don't we have our break, and then after the break, we do the video? I think it's better. Okay, guys, because I guess you're dying to drink some water, maybe have some coffee. And I know time flies. So let's drink some water, have some coffee. Then when we come back, we can watch part of that video, okay? Because we are already
Sure.
doing 3. So let me take a picture of everybody who is here. Let me just alter the layout here so I can get more people on the screen. All right, and take a better picture. All right, people. You can't see me because we are in room number 1, and the camera from this room is taller, and I can't really be in front of the camera. So there are more people there that didn't really show. So let me, it doesn't go bigger than that. My goodness. Oh, okay. I guess now, yes. Perfect. All right, people, I will just turn off the camera and the mic for 10 minutes, okay? And then we come back. Stay here, don't go anywhere. I want to see you here. All right, people, let's come back. Yes, let's finish that.
Parece até o pai que eu tinha para fazer. Não virou nada.
Notice him.
Por exemplo,
Haven't had a great break.
eu fui vegetariana.
Yeah, it's a very nice topic, really. I like this topic. It's nice. I like diets too.
A senhora depois é professora vegetariana.
Yes, yes.
Conseguiu?
For 4 to 5 years,
Nossa,
a long time, but I felt I didn't really get well after that. I was sick. I had anemia and I had to eat meat.
tadinha.
So I couldn't stay for too long, only for 5 years.
Aí agora você voltou assim normal.
Yeah,
Mas voltou assim normalmente? Voltou pra verdade?
no, no.
É,
Foi
primeiro dia.
difícil, então.
I eat only sometimes. I don't eat meat every day because I don't like red meat.
Mas também tem uma coisa, tipo, ser vegetariana é você cortar algumas coisas. Tipo, tem ovo-lacto, tudo isso, enfim. Veganismo, por exemplo, é uma filosofia de vida, de uma política, porque eles defendem os animais assim, tipo assim,
Yeah,
né?
totally.
E o que eu ia falar, gente? Eu esqueci.
No, but yeah, it's true.
Nossa,
Yeah.
veganismo.
Yeah, being a vegetarian is different than
O ponto que eu me
it's different from being a vegan. A vegan is
O ponto que eu me conscientizei foi, tipo assim, já viu pobre, né? Pobre é pobre, teve um dia que eu fui na feira. Aí vieram colocar sal na minha boca, desmaiei, me chorei na feira da Vila Kennedy.
wow.
Falei que eu ia da Kennedy. Tava com meu pai, né? Aí, beleza. A pessoa não coloca sal na boca dela, que não sei o quê. Aí eu já não fazia acompanhando com nutricionista, né? Só que, tipo assim, muito tempo. Eu fiquei 1 ano sendo vegetariana e depois 4 anos vegana. Bem restrita, assim. Eu já comecei sendo vegetariana, tipo, bem restrita, eu não conseguia, entende? Mas, nossa, aí colocaram uma carnecinha na minha boca, eu corri o total.
Yes.
Eu não consigo comer primeiro dia, eu fiquei enojada, né?
Yeah,
E triste, ao mesmo tempo. Eu
yeah,
comecei a chorar quando colocaram. Eu falei, "Ixi,
yeah.
é muito horrível, porque
That's really nice.
nossa, a gente sente que tá colaborando para essa indústria, né?
Yeah, it's very bad. Okay, guys. So we are talking here about vegetarianism, veganism, and all these things. So let's see, guys, if I can show you something about the discoveries, right? So let me try to take you there so we can watch that video. Yes. Let's take a look here. I will try to put the subtitles for you to follow. And we are not watching everything, just the beginning, okay? Because it's quite long. So let me just turn off the mic.
Could be evidence of the historic Jesus.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 archaeological discoveries.
As a result, the angle of the hip looks nothing like a chimp's, but a lot like ours.
Its scale is unprecedented. And now, some say they have found it.
For this list, we're looking at the most incredible discoveries archaeologists have ever made. We're excluding things that weren't discovered because they were never lost in the first place, like the Great Pyramids or Machu Picchu. Those are great sites, but local people have always known they were there. Let us know in the comments below which discovery you found most interesting. Number 10. Tutankhamun's tomb.
Tutankhamun's burial chamber is filled with magical decoration. But beside it, the rest of the tomb is left bare. This simple tomb is unlike any other royal tomb in the valley.
The Valley of the Kings is the final resting place of many ancient Egyptian pharaohs, but throughout its history, a number of tombs have fallen victim to grave robbers.
This is the Egyptian red list of the missing pieces. We are already missing from the museums and the sites and everywhere in Egypt, and we give it to Interpol to stop any piece of them if they're moving from a country to a country.
Tutankhamun's tomb was different. Remarkably, though grave robbers did break in shortly after it was initially sealed up, Most of its contents were intact when archaeologists found it in 1922.
Over 5,000 priceless artifacts, including golden statues. In the burial chamber, the pharaoh's mummy, wearing a golden death mask, was placed inside a coffin made of more than 200 pounds of solid gold.
Today, Tutankhamun's gilded mask makes him arguably the most famous and recognizable pharaoh in history. Considering Tutankhamun only reigned for about 10 years and died between the young ages of 18 and 19, that is quite the legacy.
This modest tomb was jammed full of all the royal possessions that were usually buried with a king.
It can't have been meant to be all jumbled up like that. People are just trying to cram as much stuff as possible.
Along with the mask, the tomb also contained a statue of Anubis, the god of the dead, and a dagger made from a fallen meteor. Number 9. The Antikythera mechanism.
If it hadn't been discovered when it was in 1901, no one would possibly believe that it could exist because it's so sophisticated.
This mysterious object was found submerged in Grecian waters at the turn of the 20th century, located inside an ancient shipwreck. The strange device was already 2,000 years old when it was found, and despite being eroded by the sea for all that time, it was still eventually identified as the world's oldest computer. Finally, another century after its discovery, and we now know definitively what it did. It was a device used to chart the positions of celestial bodies so that the ancient Greeks knew when eclipses would happen.
Some have argued that it's so complex, the Greeks couldn't have made it at all. There are even some who say it must have been created by aliens.
It took a 3D reconstruction of the entire device in 2021 to get a better understanding of how it worked, though its purpose was suspected for decades. Number 8. Lascaux. In 1940, a young man stumbled across the entrance to a 17,000-year-old cave system in the south of France, all thanks to his dog.
On this day, he had gone after his dog, who had chased a fox or a rabbit, when he kicked a stone with his foot, and it tumbled down into this little hole and made an echo that brought everyone running.
Lascaux Cave was quickly excavated and was found to contain hundreds of cave paintings depicting the fauna that lived in rural France thousands of years ago. It was one of the most incredible collections of cave paintings ever unearthed, but not the only one. In neighboring Spain, the cave of Altamira was found between the late 1870s and early 1880s, and boasted cave paintings even older than the ones in Lascaux, with some dating back 36,000 years.
The original cave has been closed to preserve its archaeologically important remains. In its place, a precise replica has been recreated inside this museum.
Both Lascaux and Altamira are major UNESCO sites in France and Spain, respectively. Number 7. Lucy. When this skeleton was discovered in Ethiopia in 1974, it completely changed everything we thought we knew about human evolution.
When you look at it as a whole, there's an amalgam of more primitive and more derived features that had not been seen before.
The skeleton was dubbed Lucy because the team of scientists who found it happened to be listening to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds during the excavation. Despite this conventional name, Lucy was part of a newly described species at the time, Australopithecus afarensis, and was over 3.2 million years old. The significance of the discovery has made Lucy an important part of modern Ethiopian culture.
Lucy became an almost instant celebrity in anthropological circles. She didn't look like anything we had ever found before. She was something very different. And because of that, she opened up for us an entire new chapter on human origins.
50 years earlier, another fossil from a closely related species, Australopithecus africanus, was found in South Africa, a skull dubbed the Tong Child.
Today, millions of years after the small hominid child met his end, its amazing fossil continues to play a crucial role in our understanding of human evolution.
Number 6. Troy. For centuries, historians debated not only whether the Trojan War actually happened, but also whether the lost city of Troy ever existed at all.
It's a story that's been told and retold by poets and actors for thousands of years. But is it real? Did the city of Troy actually exist?
The Trojan War is the focus of one of ancient Greece's most famous epic poems, Homer's Iliad, and legendary Greek heroes like Achilles and Odysseus fought in it. But Troy's location became lost knowledge. Throughout the 1800s, many researchers argued that Hisarlik, a site in western Turkey, was probably the elusive city.
Throughout the 20th century, scholars have become aware that we can't even be sure that Troy is indeed this Troy.
Finally, after decades of debate, experts came to a consensus that yes, Hisarlik is in all likelihood Troy. Unfortunately, we've yet to find conclusive evidence that the Trojan horse existed. But Troy's identification was hugely important for historians.
The idea that the Greeks would have in fact built a large wooden horse, hidden inside it and had it dragged inside of Troy is certainly possible, but it kind of strains your credulity a little bit that someone really could have pulled that off.
Number 5. Sutton Hoo. One of the most remarkable medieval graves anywhere in Europe was excavated in England in 1939.
Well, I'd say it's the biggest archaeological discovery ever made in this country. So it is an immense responsibility to look after the site, but also really what we're trying to do at Sutton Hoo is tell more people about it.
The owner of an estate in Suffolk, Edith Pretty, enlisted some archaeologists to find out what was underneath the burial mounds on her property. What they uncovered was astounding. So much so that the story inspired a 2021 film, The Dig.
That's a ship.
How do you mean a ship?
Well, that's the ship that's been buried in the mound.
Why would anyone want to bury a ship?
What would I expect? Because that's a grave.
The most promising mound contained an entire long ship and innumerable artifacts, including pieces of armor made of gold and other Anglo-Saxon relics. Though it's one of the UK's most impressive archaeological discoveries, it's still not entirely clear whose grave it actually is.
Shortly after the inquest, which ruled that all the items found in the Sutton Hoo burial mound lawfully belonged to Edith Pretty, Pretty donated the entire collection to the British Museum. It's among the most valuable donations of its kind, and the collection itself remains at the heart of the museum.
Most evidence suggests it was the final resting place of a famous East Anglian king, Redwald, who ruled the region around 1400 years ago. Number 4. The Terracotta Army. This is one of the most significant archaeological finds of all time, and it was discovered completely by accident.
And they find some pieces of the pottery. They also find the head of the terracotta warriors, and the archaeological team came to this area and they start to dig.
The Terracotta Army was first uncovered in the Shanxi province of western China by a group of farmers in the 1970s. The army resides within a tomb constructed over 2,200 years ago as the resting place of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, which is why it's so elaborate.
He was its first emperor, and his empire became his fortress, protected by a great wall. The legend says he was a tyrant, driven mad by power.
In the parts we've been able to excavate, there are over 8,000 soldiers made out of clay, there to guard Emperor Qin in the afterlife.
Row upon row of warriors, hundreds of secret subterranean soldiers, all life-sized and built to be immortal.
But even more astonishing is the fact that the entire necropolis is believed to be almost 40 square miles in size, with most of the site hidden in vaults that aren't yet accessible. Number 3. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Written mostly in Hebrew, the Dead Sea Scrolls are some of the oldest Abrahamic religious texts in existence.
A young shepherd is herding goats in Qumran near the Dead Sea. Passing a cave, he throws a stone to scare a wayward animal back to the flock, and hears something shatter. Curious, he enters the cavern and discovers 10 clay jars holding 7 ancient scrolls.
They were discovered in a cave in the West Bank in the mid-1940s, but in the decades since, we've continually found more and more scrolls ready to be translated in a handful of additional caves.
The scrolls themselves talk of the battles of the great teacher of righteousness who led the community into the wilderness with the teach of lies.
The scrolls are so significant because they've allowed historians and theologians to chart the development of the Bible much more accurately. and provided new information about the dawn of Christianity thousands of years ago, as well as the history of Judaism and the Holy Land.
Now we're becoming much more attuned to how very Jewish Jesus was. Very devout Jew. And that's the heart of Christianity.
They are unquantifiably important and still have a lot to teach us.
There's really no way of predicting what the next discovery is going to be or what it's going to come from. I think it's fairly reasonable to guess there will be something. Surely there will be something.
Number 2, the Rosetta Stone. For centuries, archaeologists had absolutely no idea how to decipher ancient Egypt's complex hieroglyphics.
Jean-Francois Champollion in France and Thomas Young in Britain both believed that the Rosetta Stone, as it was called, held the key to deciphering hieroglyphs. But the Rosetta Stone did not yield its secrets easily.
Without a starting point, they were unable to understand the inscriptions on Egyptian monuments and artifacts. But that all changed with the discovery of the long-lost Rosetta Stone in 1799, an enormous slab of stone inscribed with everything needed to start translating.
This seemingly insignificant rock would forever change our understanding of mankind's past.
The text it contained wasn't actually all that interesting, but the same passage was written 3 times in different languages, and one of those languages was Ancient Greek.
The Greek section told of the tablet having the same information written in all 3. While Greek was easily understood, several obstacles stood in the way of using it to translate the 2 Egyptian scripts.
By using the Greek, which is still widely understood by researchers, we were able to decipher the hieroglyphics and unlock the secrets of ancient Egyptian writing. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Ötzi the Iceman. In 1991, Ötzi's body was found naturally mummified in the Alps 5,300 years after he died. The Library of Ashurbanipal. These clay tablets were found in the 50s and contain the oldest extant work of literature. Knossos. This palace is over 3,000 years old and was the hub of Crete's ancient Minoan civilization.
This was an incredible structure and befitting one of the most powerful kings of the Bronze Age. It's built with no expense spared.
Richard III's grave. A parking lot in England was found to be the final resting place of Richard III in 2012.
And for almost 530 years, this is where he lay, downtown Leicester. In a car park with people driving over him, parking on him, dripping oil from their motors over the last resting place of the monarch.
The Madaba map, the oldest surviving map of the Holy Land. This floor mosaic was excavated in the 1880s. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Pompeii. Among the most famous ruins in the world, Pompeii was destroyed by a devastating eruption from Mount Vesuvius in the year 79 AD. The village was left forgotten until the 16th century, over 1,500 years later, because it had been completely buried underneath volcanic ash.
It took just 18 hours for Pompeii to be buried under millions of tons of volcanic ash and pumice. An entire living city wiped out.
But that ash kept Pompeii largely intact when it was finally excavated, with people frozen in place where they died during the disaster.
The point is we have a great opportunity here because we have a snapshot of the society. We might have slaves, we might have upper class people, and we can find out if there have been big differences.
Today, it's one of Italy's most popular tourist attractions and a tremendous source of Roman history. As tragic as the story is, Pompeii has taught us more about Roman life than many other ancient archaeology sites anywhere in the world.
Pompeii has regained its pride and continues to share its stories with people from all around the world.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Okay, guys, it was impossible not to see all of the pics because they're all so interesting, and it's difficult really to stop in the middle. They didn't really talk about Stonehenge or the Nazca lines or even the last one here, but we could see something about the terracotta warriors. Guys, so many soldiers. Did you see that, people? Yes, they were all made of clay and they were all buried until they were excavated. Imagine, guys, finding this precious thing here. Old sculptures. Imagine. Yeah, that was really amazing. Yeah, Pompeii. Yeah, that's true, guys. That's true. An entire city, which was the last one, pick number one, right, from the video. They talk about Pompeii. An entire city was covered with ashes from the volcano. And all the people there, they died because it's impossible to survive. And now, I mean, after many years, they were able to excavate the ashes and find the skeletons, the utensils, all the things they used at the time. So it's a very good opportunity to learn about how they lived and many things they knew that we have no idea, right? So we learn a lot when we have these findings. So people, that's it for this page. Which discovery is most mysterious to you and why? What do you think?
I mean, the Greek eclipse tracker mechanism? How did they do a thing like this, you know? You know, there was an eclipse and they guessed something based on planets outside they observed, and then they created a device to track when an eclipse would happen again. I can't imagine this happening in the past.
That was really amazing, right? They created an instrument so they could predict the next eclipse. Oh my God. So many years ago. That's really amazing. Yeah, that's really mysterious. I also like the Nazca lines because how could someone make this kind of drawing on the soil so many years ago and with such precision? It's difficult to imagine this, right? I mean, so many mysterious things. So moving on to page 22, with the help of the connection, let's try to reload this page before we go on. We get to our last page, so we can see how we can talk about the past using another structure, a little different from the ones we already know, but it's also the past, okay? So let's take a look at that. Just let's wait a little bit so it reloads here. Okay. Yes, that was way ahead. Let me just click here. Actually, no. Yeah, we have to go to 22. I just put the closest number. Here we are. So, yes, can you see that? Good. Thank you for your patience, guys. So this is the structure that we use when we want to talk about repeated actions in the past, things that repeated many times over and over, or past habits, okay? Habits in the past. So let's take a look here. We use the structure used to talk about regular actions that we did in the past, but we don't do now, okay? We form positive sentences with used to plus infinitive. Example, in ancient Egypt, people used to write in hieroglyphs. So this is the language they used in ancient Egypt. Paulina asked me the meaning of the word ancient. Ancient means very old, okay? Very old. That's why we call it ancient. Oh my God. Like a mosquito. Yeah, or a fly. We formed negative sentences with didn't plus used to plus infinitive. Example, we didn't use to understand hieroglyphs, okay? Now, we form questions with auxiliary did plus subject plus used to and infinitive. So did the Egyptians use to speak all three languages? So the rule to make questions and to make negatives is the same as the rule we use for the simple past. The verb comes back to normal. So used to becomes used to. Okay, guys? The same rule applies. So let's practice here. Question number 5. Choose the correct form of used to complete the sentences. Let's do this together, okay? The first one, people be able to touch the Stonehenge stones. Now they can't. Used to.
Did it?
Yes.
People use it to.
People used to. Very good, Carol. Excellent. Nowadays, if you want to touch the stones, you can't. That's a pity. Now, number 2, the emperor used to be buried with terracotta warriors. Now here they are talking about the emperor in China, okay? Number 3, the Nazca lines
used to.
Yes, used to be well preserved, but now they're damaged. What a pity. Number 4, people or used to. I don't know. I think used to live on Easter Island. No one knows what happened to them. Because I don't know now what happens to the people. Because we only have the sculptures. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the sculptures they found on Easter Island? No? Huge sculptures. It's an island, actually. It's not a country. Let me show you.
But it's from...
Let me see which country it belongs to. Look, these are the sculptures. Look. The island of Moai is in the Pacific Ocean. Okay. So look at the size of the sculptures. And if you see that, look, it's amazing. Check it out. How did they do that? Yeah, amazing. Really, that's really crazy. And the size and the expressions on the faces, and they are really big. Look, people, they're super big. Look, there is a person here. Look at the size of the person, I guess, and the size of the sculpture. How could a human being, a normal human being, do that? It's not only one, there are lots of them. Look. And some of them are in a like waiting line, or they are side by side, geometrically separated. How? Who made this? Okay. So that's amazing. That's a big secret. This is not part of the thing, but these are, yes, you have these ones who are lined, and there are some others scattered around the terrain in different places. So, like this. Some of them still buried. You can only see like a part of their heads, not everything. It's really amazing. So this is the map. Easter Island. Look, I don't know which country it belongs to. I would have to research. Look. And these are the locations. Look, all the island has statues. Look at take a look, guys. It's amazing.
And we can play detectives here. But look at the image. You can see that those statues are a little bit covered with dirt, because some have bodies, some don't, because they're covered with dirt. Because something happened in the past. This is really mysterious. That's the first thing we need to search for when we make research. Nice one.
Yeah, really, it's amazing. Some people call the place Rapa Nui, okay? And but if you see the map and the location of the sculptures, they are basically all around the coast. Basically, they're mostly everywhere. Like, amazing. Now, I don't know, I would have to find out which country this amazing island belongs to. I don't know if it's a country in in South America, or if it's, I don't know, really. I have to investigate. I'm not sure. This is like one of the most amazing discoveries. And then here, the last one. What did people, the second one, what did people used to do? Because it's a question, okay, guys? So when there is a question, the verb comes back to normal. Et göbekli tepe. It's a mystery. Until today, nobody knows what they used to do there, okay? So let's check the answers. Everything right? It's an amazing class, guys, really. I mean, I love this topic, and especially the topic they're going to talk about now, which is the Rosetta Stone. Yeah, this is very interesting. So just for us to finish this page, let's complete number 6. Complete the sentences with the correct form of used to and the verbs in the box. Remember, we use this structure to talk about actions in the past that happened more than once. Repeated actions, habits that don't happen now in the present, okay? So the Incan Empire is famous for its impressive architecture. They Count. We have to use used to and a verb from the box. So they used to build, as they used to build complex cities that worked well with the surrounding land.
It's the past.
Yes, here, remember, we have to use used to plus infinitive. That's the structure. In the past, only used to. Okay? The second verb is always infinitive. Build here is infinitive. Okay? The past of build is irregular, if you don't remember. The past of build is built. Okay? Build, infinitive, built, simple past. Okay? All right. Now, the next one here. One example is Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu means old peak. It is on a tall mountain. There, used to
B.
Yes, there used to be 140 buildings there. And people think the city is in the shape of a bird. One of the mysteries of Machu Picchu is how the Incas built. Look, here we have build in the past. How the Incas built the city. We know the Incans, yes, the negative. So, didn't use to, verb infinitive, use. They didn't use to use the will, but did you know they built a lot of things. So here they didn't use to use the will. Do you know the wheel, guys? The wheel is the round thing we use to make cars, to right. Ah, okay. Very good. They didn't use to write. They didn't use to write either. Okay, so they didn't use to use the will, and they didn't use to write either. All right. Okay, guys. So now question, how? Yes, how did they use to do what? Build. How did they use to build such complex cities without writing? That's a mystery. How could they calculate? How could they calculate the distances? And my goodness, it's amazing, isn't it? Without writing? Gosh, that's really mysterious. I can't hear you, Raul. You're muted.
I do that a lot. I just externalize my thoughts without the mic on. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. That's all right. Okay, guys. So next class, we will talk about the Rosetta Stone. Okay? because we have to go. My goodness, time flies so fast. And today it was faster than I thought. So next week we will talk about the Rosetta Stone, which is so interesting. Guys, taking you back to our page on Google Classroom, let me show you the homework for today. So let me try to take you there. Sorry? Okay, I can do that after class. Can you wait until we finish? Because I just need to give them the homework, and then as soon as we finish, then I will listen to you. All right? Okay. So let's just wrap it up here. This is not the date. The date is May 21st. Okay. Now here we are. Good. People, today we did 2.2, 2.3. We managed to do all the pages. So what did we learn today? We talked about scanning a text. Remember, when we just give a quick look, we talked about déjà vu, the meaning of this, phrases with time. We saw the phrases with time and the different parts of speech of each word. Okay? We talked about archaeological discoveries. Okay, guys? And to finish, we talked a little bit about used to. So we use that structure to talk about repeated actions in the past that never happened in the present, okay? So for more information on the topics, you can check the files we posted, and you can also do the exercises online, okay, guys? So I'm still going to post some worksheets here for you to practice used to. I haven't done so yet, but I will. But I posted some sites for you to check out. Okay, people? So let me take a final picture before we go. All right. Make sure. Yes, tell me. Yes, who wants to say something?
My mic is on. I wanted to say that my leg hurts a little. I'm stuck in a position for an hour, I think. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yes, can you speak?
Yes, I can speak.
All right.
My leg's not fine, but I can speak. Nice class today, Sim. So thank you.
I don't understand. Sorry. Can you repeat, please?
Everything's fine. No worries. Never mind, actually.
Okay. Whatever you need, if you have any questions or if you'd like to say something about the class, you can send us a message. Use the group to communicate, all right? Send us a message and then we are fine. So I'd like to thank everybody who is online. Raul, Mateus, Ana Beatriz, Júlio, Agatha Cristi, João Paulo, André, Jéssica, Kathleen, Carol. Thank you so much, guys. Davi, Nick, Maria Clara Ramalho, and the other people who left before. Thank you so much. And make sure you read something in English, right? Bye-bye, guys. You're welcome. Try to read something in English, like a book, a magazine, or something online. Okay, guys? I love you very much. Have a nice weekend. Hope to be here again next week with you. All right. Take care.
See you.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. It was amazing. Let's sign the list, okay? Just a second. I'll give them the list to sign. Goodbye, people. Thank you. Goodbye, Cristiano. Thank you.